Eustass Captain Kid, or how others may call him, Eustass Captain Mid. But that's not whom I see him as. I see this red-headed pirate as the second most powerful of the worst generation. But before I get into the details, cue the intro.
It's your boy Young Eustass, back at it again. Yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this with a couple friends.
Yeah, it's your boy Young Eustass.
Yo, what is up, guys?
It's
your boy
Young Eustass.
and I'm back again for another
Video.
Listen, y'all.
Over the years, and most noticeably after the past few months, Kid has been getting the most hate and the most slander that he's ever gotten. From being the individual out of the worst generation with the highest bounty that everyone couldn't wait to see go all out, to being the individual that people call mid due to his performance during the War of Onigashima. I see why people might be upset or let down due to his performance. Like in this panel, he doesn't seem to have knowledge of Ryu Haki, or even this panel, where he seems to think using brute strength is the way of hurting Kaido instead of using Haki. Or even this panel, where Big Mom doesn't seem to be dead after his final and most powerful attack. But a lot of the individuals that believe Kid hasn't shown any feats, or that he has gotten carried by Law and Luffy while they were fighting, in my opinion, are completely wrong. Each character has strengths and weaknesses. What some might consider a strength, others might just consider as a hindrance to one's growth, while others see that person's strength as a stepping stone for that character to reach their prime. As we know, Kid and his crew had fought against the red-haired pirates before getting captured by Kaido. We learned in chapter 1076 that Kid might have lost his arm to the first mate of the red-haired pirate crew, Ben Beckman, whom is supposed to be the strongest of all the Yonko commanders in the story at this point in time. Kid went into Big Mom's territory before that to get a writing of her poneglyph, and tried to fight Kaido after he fell from Balloon Terminal of the Sky Islands. Kid has not been as lucky as Luffy to get trained by the right-hand man of the Pirate King. Instead, he has had to learn on his own, not serving under any individual or even working with the world government as a warlord, like we have seen with Law. Kid doesn't have a good track record of wins against these powerful foes, but he hasn't been killed like a lot of veteran pirates have been by these emperors of the sea. Subject 1, the fall. Kid is an example of what happens when you traverse the world of One Piece with your crew and only your crew. Going from island to island, following your dreams. No training arc and no help being taken by others. Kid is the embodiment of a conqueror, one who doesn't kneel to anyone, and one who sticks to what they believe in, and one whom wants to do what they want to do, just as Luffy does. When we see Kid for the first time in Wano, he is shackled and worn out, which indicated that he had been taken to Wano after he had been defeated by Kaido, which didn't allow him to progress in Devil Fruit ability or Haki because no one trained him in advanced forms of Haki. The only thing that could progress is his own physical strength due to having the sea stone cuffs on him. As we saw in the prisoner mines of Wano, Luffy and him were showing how strong they were while competing to get more food than the other. There were even remarks in chapter 926 from the Beast Pirates saying, "What about the sea stone cuffs? They are moving that many blocks with their power depleted?" Which is why we tend to see Kid using his brute strength while fighting more than utilizing his Haki. The problem with Kid's fighting style is that he seems to have the basic forms of Haki, not any advanced forms unless it's observation Haki. As we see on Onigashima's rooftop in chapter 1001, he states, "What was that Haki just now? I can't believe he damaged Kaido," which was stated after we saw Luffy use Ryu Haki against Kaido. Luffy had seen his mentor Silver's Rayleigh used the haki before. He learned it in Wano by Boss Hyogoro, but Kid has not seen anyone else, which could tell us that he isn't very aware of certain advanced forms of haki. Subject 2, the realization. As Kid is fighting alongside his two rivals, Luffy and Law, Kid realizes that he has to pick his own battles, and if he can't get something done, he can rely on his allies to do so. This is a huge character development for the man whom didn't even want to team up to beat Kaido. As he realizes that Luffy is able to damage Kaido more than his peers and himself, he decides to go after Big Mom, whom in my opinion is a tougher opponent than Kaido. The only example of her being damaged was from the Mother Caramel photo, being broken twice, due to her exuding haki from her body in order not to get damaged. After him and Killer went into Onigashima, he found Big Mom and helped Nami, Usopp, and Otama by slamming her and allowing them to escape, not allowing his allies to fall or get hurt by someone that is out of their weight class. Kid at this point in time even fought alongside Trafalgar D. Waterloo in order to take down this ex-emperor of the sea. I guess we could say that teamwork really makes the dream work. It takes a lot to go against your own pride and do something that you say you wouldn't ever do, accepting the situation in order to have a better outcome. And that is exactly what Kid has done. During the battle against Big Mom, we learned that Kid has awakened his devil fruit. What he lacks in haki, he makes up in attack potency with his awakened state.
Subject 3, the rise.
He has fallen, but now he is rising again. Like a phoenix from its ashes. He was down, but he has gotten back up and will continue to rise once more. For he is the rival of the future Pirate King, and someone whom has the potential to use Conqueror's haki coding. He might not have used it during Wano, but he has gotten hit by it a few too many times, possibly figuring out the way to use it just as Luffy did in Wano. Currently, Kid is reaching Elbaf and the red-haired pirates are docked there. In fact, it is Shanks' territory. In chapter 1076, Shanks tells Rockstar to ask Kid if he wants to turn around and leave his poneglyph, or if he wants to fight. And Kid says he is down for the get down and ready to go pound for pound. Shanks acknowledging the strength of the person whom had his arm cut off by his right-hand man, even asking Broggy and Dory for help in the fight because, as Shanks put it, it might turn into a war. I believe that Kid went plus ultra and went past his limits in order to defeat and at the time barely hurt Big Mom, increasing his power and making his haki more powerful. As Rayleigh said to Luffy, clashing with stronger opponents will cause your haki to bloom and grow stronger, which I believe will be showcased with the fight against the two red-haired pirates. We already have seen that Law's haki has gotten stronger, with him being able to reverse the effects of Q's devil fruit abilities, turning him and his crew into women, but Law being able to exude haki from his body in order to reverse those effects. Now we need to see what Kid has learned from his fight against the only current Yonko that Kaido had in his top 5 before Luffy took him down. Many believe that Kid won't be able to redeem himself, but I believe he will. After taking down an opponent that was out of your reach, you gain a new type of confidence. But going against someone whom allowed one of his men to take a Nama away from him will lead to anger and confidence. To a man whom fell and is rising again might be a great combination. He's hungry and he's ready to eat. Let's just wait and see what happens when the two red-haired pirates finally meet.
So take me back to the old days that I